everybody, it's Jim with Passport to Thailand. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, today's video is a video on the 6 cheapest or low-cost cities to live in Thailand in 2025. Before I get into the video, just a couple quick notes here. If you could please subscribe and like and share this video with as many people as you can. I feel this video is one that really needs to be sent out to a lot of people that are even thinking about coming to Thailand. I'm going to do you a backstory here on why I'm making this video. As a new YouTuber, about 5 months or so into this and about 50 some videos, I've lived in Thailand for a very long time. And my wife is a YouTuber connoisseur, and she watches all the YouTube videos about Thailand. And she brought a couple videos to my attention recently that I thought were a little eye-opening and a little disappointing that they're being made and promoted so heavily. And they were videos about how Thailand is becoming so expensive to live, and it's no longer a low-cost country to live in, and yada, 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 and, you know, bashing Thailand about the cost of everything. And I thought, wow, you know, I'm not experiencing that, okay? And I want to do this video so that those that maybe are thinking of coming over here to live, I want to give you some options. And again, you know, don't believe everything you hear on YouTube. And, you know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are trying to do this as a full-time living and clickbait. I am not. I'm retired. I don't need to do this. I do this because I want to help fellow expats or soon-to-be expats from around the world show you that this is still a wonderful place to live and retire, and it's a very low-cost country for that. So with that, I'll get off my soapbox and let's dive right into it. All right, so I'm just going to go over the names of the cities first, and we'll talk about that. And then I'm going to go into some key points about each city, and then I've saved my favorite city for last. So stick around for that, okay? So let's start with Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is a city up in the northwest part of the country. Wonderful city. I'm there on a semi-regular basis. Matter of fact, I have another trip planned in about 8 weeks to go there with my wife and I for about a week. We've got some business there to do. And I think consider that as a definitely low cost or lower cost city in Thailand to consider. So Chiang Mai. The next is Chiang Rai. Chiang Rai is a northern city. It's the famous city with the White Temple. And I did a whole video on that in the White Temple. If you're interested, check that video out. Wonderful location, very nice city, very picturesque, very mountainous, beautiful, and a low-cost city as well, for sure. So let's go on to the next city. And my wife and I have many friends in this city. And this city is about an hour north out of downtown Bangkok on the river. It's a beautiful city. It's Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya is a beautiful city. Used to be one of the capitals of Bangkok many, many years ago. So wonderful city, lots to do, great malls, very convenient. There's a lot of elephant and outdoor scenery things to do there if you're into the outdoors activities. And it's relatively close to downtown Bangkok, about an hour on the expressway. So a really neat option if you want to be close to the city, but not right in downtown Bangkok. Ayutthaya is definitely an option. Okay, the next city is Korat. Korat, wonderful city, definitely a lower cost city. It's got all the bells and whistles and conveniences that you would need, but one to keep in mind. Korat. Okay, let's move on to, I think you've probably heard of this one, Udon Thani. Udon Thani is a wonderful city up towards the Mekong River, a really nice place to live. And I'm going to talk about the key points to that in just a minute. All of these cities I've talked about so far are the ones that have, in my experience, the lowest cost to live in Thailand. And if you live in Thailand, or if you've been to Thailand and you think you found a city in Thailand that's even lower cost than these, please put a comment in the link below for our subscribers and viewers to help them. I'm sure I might have missed one, so I'm not saying I'm an expert in this, but these are my personal experiences with these low cost cities. Okay, so now let's dive into the key points of each of these cities. And I'm going to save my favorite for last, okay? So Chiang Mai is considered one of the most popular expat destinations in Thailand due to its affordable cost. It's stunningly beautiful. It's surrounded by mountains and different rivers and waterfalls, and it's got a very vibrant cultural scene. It's very eclectic area, and there's so much to do. And if you're into Western food, there's restaurants all around. If you want to get a good pizza, beef sandwich, bratwurst, fried chicken, whatever it is that you like, you can find it in Chiang Mai. It also has the wonderful malls there and everything. So you've got that city vibe, the Western conveniences, but you're also surrounded by beautiful nature. It's a great city. And very similar to that is the next one, which is Chiang Rai, which is way up north towards the border. It's got the beautiful White Temple. And again, I think I mentioned I did a whole video on that. Check that out. It's a beautiful location. Lower cost of living, a little slower pace for sure. It's a slow pace, but it's not so slow pace that you wouldn't want to be, or you wouldn't feel comfortable living there as a Westerner. It's got a nice balance to it. I think that was the word I was looking for. So the next city after Chiang Rai is Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya is about an hour north of downtown Bangkok. It's right on the river. It's very picturesque. It's got a lot of outdoor activities. It's still got a nice vibe to it. It's got some modern amenities all through there, very nice malls, and definitely a city to look at. And we've been down there many times, and I even thought about buying a little investment property down there, a little condo, because it's an actually growing city as well, and lots to do. So check out Ayutthaya. The next on the list is Korat, which we talked about, and it's a developing city, so it's got an opportunity for growth there too. It's in the northeast part of the country, and it's got relatively low cost of living. It's got a nice balance, a good vibe there. So I really like Korat. Check that one out as well. And then, of course, we mentioned Udon Thani. Now, this has less tourists, so it's a little bit more authentic Thai. Not as many touristy things. It's in the northeast. It's got a lower cost of living for sure, and towards the Mekong River area. So this is one of my favorites as well. It's a really kind of an underrated area. I've spent some time there. My wife and I did. We really liked it. So Udon Thani. All right. So now we're going to get on to the last and my favorite. And I'm going to share that with you. I'm actually going to share my two favorite cities for low-cost cities in Thailand, which are completely my experience, and I'll share with you. And the last on the list is my home, Nan, the Nan province in northern Thailand, which is about 10 hours north of Bangkok by car. It's about 5 hours from Chiang Mai. I'm about an hour and 20 minutes from Laos and about an hour and 20 minutes from the Burmese border. So that's where I'm at. Nan is it's considered a cheap, low-cost place to live, considering all of the other cities I've just mentioned. It's a great option for retiring or just living up here. The cost of food, the cost of rent, the general living expenses are significantly less than downtown Bangkok or any of the other cities I've mentioned. It's very picturesque. It's very mountainous. I'm surrounded by mountains. I have a river in the back of my house, and any window I look out of my house, I'm just surrounded by beautiful mountain peaks and lush green corn and rice fields. It's a very beautiful place to live in northern Thailand. It's still, I would say, it's developed, but it's not as developed as Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai, but it's getting there. Just for some examples of low cost. This morning, before I made this video, my wife and I had plans to go and run some errands. She actually lost the top crown off of one of her teeth, in the back of her mouth. And we had to go to the dental clinic, which is at the local hospital. And so without an appointment, we just walked in, we signed in, and 2 hours later, she saw the dentist, and they put a temporary crown on her tooth, and it's just to come back to get the permanent. And all of this cost will be under $280. So about $270 and change is what they said. That's That's fixing, now going into the root canal, cleaning it back out, and putting a new permanent tooth on there. So I just want you to think about that when I talk about low costs in different cities. There are some significant advantages. Now, this dental clinic is amazing. It's all first world. It's beautiful inside. Considering if you've ever been in other medical facilities throughout Thailand, some of them are not as modernized. Okay, but up here in Nan, it really is. For some reason, Nan is a real hot spot for not only Thais, but other people from around the world that come here as tourists. It's very, very popular, and for good reason. Not only the low cost, the immense beauty. There's so many things to do and see up here. Thai food, northern Thai food, is very different up here than Bangkok or the South. So it's got different flavors, different dishes. It's a lot of fun up here. So Nan is my number one. And if I had to pick a close second, right, it would be Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is a wonderful city. I consider it my second on the list for sure for low-cost cities for the value, right? So that's the other thing I want you to think about is, yeah, there's low costs. Okay, you can find low cost anywhere, but what's the value add of living there for you? You know, is it worth being there even though it's a low-cost city? Is there things that make it a vibrant life experience for you? In these cities, they certainly do. So Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Ayutthaya, Karat, Udon Thani, and Nan, in my personal experience of being in Thailand for many years, these are the top 6 cities that are lower cost, or we would call cheap cities to live in. Not necessarily cheap in life and life experience, but in the cost of living. So I hope this was helpful. If you would like to learn a little bit more about these cities, send me a comment. I'd be happy to do a deep dive for you specifically on any one of these cities. Ayutthaya, I did a video on, and Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai, there's videos all throughout my channel on here. If you're interested, check those out. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. This is Jim with Passport to Thailand. And remember, in Thailand, there is always an option for low-cost living. And with that, I will see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. See ya. Take care.